first tonight to our own exclusive story. The Albanese government has rejected 3 high-level requests from Ukraine to help fight Russian cyber warfare. The under-siege Ukrainian government has sent 3 separate letters to Anthony Albanese's senior ministers asking for funding to help fight Russian cyber attacks. I've exclusively obtained the correspondence between the 2 governments. First, a letter from the Security Service of Ukraine, signed by the acting head Vasyl Maluk. Second, from the Ministry of Defence, signed by the Deputy Defence Minister Oleg Gaduch. And thirdly, from the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Ukraine, from the Deputy Minister George Dubinsky. The letter from Ukraine's Security Service points out that along with protecting state secrets and counterintelligence, cyber security is extremely important. It says this, and I quote, "Ensuring the cybersecurity of Ukraine, it plays a leading role in repelling Russian aggression in cyberspace during the full-scale invasion in the form of countering destructive cyber attacks against state and military networks, command and control systems, critical infrastructure facilities, and state information resources." These letters sent to Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill and Cybersecurity Minister Tim Watts. They came after the Australian government just a year ago indicated it would help to protect Ukraine from Russian cyber attacks. Ukraine first asked Australia for help to combat Russian cyber warfare early last year. Russia had launched a series of cyber attacks on Ukraine's major banks, which Peter Dutton, who was Home Affairs Minister at the time, and Marise Payne, who was Foreign Minister, they described these as malicious cyber activity. Australia, together with the UK and the United States, released a statement of solidarity with Ukraine. The statement said this: "The international community must not tolerate Russia's misuse of cyberspace to undermine Ukraine's national security, sovereignty, and territorial integrity by seeking to disrupt essential services, businesses, and community confidence." Marise Payne then met in person with Ukrainian Foreign Minister, and the takeout from that meeting was that Australia would help. There was an ABC report on it at the time saying, yes, Australia has agreed to help. But it appears that Australia has now walked away from that commitment. I can reveal Tim Watts sent this rejection letter to the Ukrainian government after those 3 high-level requests. And I quote, it says, "We always carefully consider requests for assistance from the Ukrainian government. I note your interest in further developing cooperation between Ukraine and Australia in the field of cyber and critical infrastructure, including within the framework of the Counter-Ransomware Initiative." And here's the main line. Tim Watts writes, "While we are not in a position to provide direct funding for cybersecurity-related initiatives at this time, we see great value in progressing the bilateral cyber policy dialogue between Ukrainian and Australian officials, initiating in 2022 to facilitate the sharing of expertise and experience." And that letter was dated just the 6th of March 2023, just last month. So why is it important? Why does it matter that Australia has just outright rejected 3 separate high-level requests for cybersecurity funding from Ukraine? Well, security sources tell me that Russia is using cyber intelligence to target their missile strikes. Cybersecurity is hugely important on the battlefield, on the front line. There have also been targets on Ukraine's critical infrastructure. Many corporations have been subject to ransomware attacks. Keeping Ukraine online is an ongoing battle. I put questions to DFAT and Tim Watts and Claire O'Neill, and none could explain adequately why Australia is failing to help provide funding for Ukraine to fight Russia's cyber attacks. Ukraine is also asking the Labor government for thermal coal to help Ukrainians survive this winter. They need it by October. Delivery takes 2 months. So this has now become an urgent request. Again, the Albanese government has not given an answer. This is worrying. The Ukrainian ambassador will join me tonight live to speak about these issues. From Ukraine's perspective, President Zelensky is defending Europe and the world. They're the front line against Russia, and they need our support to win and survive.